video lecture is a session 1 going to be cover the topic that is a multi-threaded programming under the model 2. Here basically we are going to be cover some of the concept that thread processing, type of threads, models, and what are the benefits of the threads, and how this will be involved in a multi-threaded programming, and some of the proprietary threads called P threads, Windows thread, so on that. So we will going to be discussing the course. So let me begin the presentation flow. The thread and multi-thread concept we are going to be discuss. The motivation and benefits, we will see what are the benefits we will be obtained from this concept. Multi-core programming, with help of the multi-thread we are going to be discuss that programming aspects. So there are several challenges we need to be addressed when we are enforcing multi-thread in a multi-thread programming. So the type of parallelism also going to be achieved, that is a data parallelism and the other computation parallelism and so on that. So multi-threaded models we are going to be discuss. So that going to be discuss that how this relation between the threads will be established. So that is a kernel thread and user thread, that will have relation between them. So that is a many to one relation, one to one relation, and many to many relations. So three models are going to be discussed. Is a part of the establish the relation between the kernel thread and the user thread. So threaded libraries are there. So there is a Windows library, Java libraries, and some of the what we call it as some of the operating system have a Windows, that is a threads concepts we will going to be discuss. That is so motivation, how you are motivated. The most modern applications are multi-threaded. Today most of the operating systems, whatever we are observing, that Android or most of the operating system today, modern operating systems are encouraging the multi-threaded concept, right? So multi-threaded in some means, so you can consider the today's computer have the several processor called desktop have one processor, and today's improved processors maybe in the laptop or in a workstation, or even desktop also, which contains the dual core or multi-core, right? So core means what? Processor. Core means what? Processor. One processor, it will be run one process, right? Two processor, it will run two processors. Two processor, it will run two process. So we have quad core, four processor are there. So they can run at a time four process. Similarly, quad octal processors are there. 8 processor will be there in a hardware, right? So each processor will run one process, right? So that is clear now, that concept. So what that modern most of the computer we have multi-threaded means it have more number of processor will be there, right? So one processor, one process, and one process might have one thread, right? So one thread or many thread, right? Many thread. So that concept we are going to be discuss. Threads run within application, right? Threads run within a application. So what is application? That is a process, right? So what is a process? That is in a processor, right? Processor will be accept the program, so that become a, when start execute that program, it will be go into the processor, that become a process, right? Runnable program is a process, right? So one processor, one process, and one process might have one thread or more thread. What is a thread? It is a lowest unit of computation, right? Let we see the difference between the thread and process, right? I hope you will understand what is the difference between processor and process. Processor is a hardware, it is a CPU. Process is a runnable program, right? So that is a software. So multiple tasks with the application can be implemented by separate threads. Multiple tasks, right? So task 1 PowerPoint, so task 1 may be Word, task 1 may be Excel sheet. So the multiple task user will be open that, no? So it can be implemented by separate thread. Each thread will look after, one thread will be look after PowerPoint, one thread will be look after Word, so on that, right? So update display, display will be updated, so that will be performed by the refresh, that is one more thread. So fetch data, that is also one more thread, that will given to the one more thread. So spell checking, so in your process running a word software, Microsoft Word for example, so there when you start editing, there you have the what we call synonym words you are observing. Then you right click, you will get a synonym of all that set of words. So that can be replaced if you want. So that is called a one thread. So that is also one thread. So main will be word process. Under this that is a spell check or synonym words you are searching, that is one thread, right? So spell check is one thread, synonym will be one thread, so like that. So several thread will be there in a one process. That is a word, that is a word. We are taking an example of word, right? Answer a network request. So maybe you are browsing, you are suddenly maybe you want to download, so from the certain website, so then network request will be required. So that is also one thread. Process creation is a heavyweight while thread creation is lightweight. So that is the difference between process and thread. So process creation is a it carries the huge luggage, it carries the huge data, huge memory space, it consumes the huge memory space, and whereas a thread may not so. Just you can consider if it is a process is a 4-wheeler vehicle and the thread is a 2-wheeler vehicle. It is a small it is a small concept which performs the part of the duty of the process, right? So that is thing. So can simplify code, increase efficiency, no? So having a process, no, it have a huge luggage, it is a huge code, it will be lengthy code will be there. If you talk about efficiency, no, efficiency may be decreases because so huge information we are carrying, right? So what we can say in Kannada verb ಉಗುರಿನಿಂದ ಹೋಗುವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಕೊಡಲಿ ಏತಕ್ಕೆ, like that. For small work you can, why you are called the process, you can use the for small work you can use some what we call thread, right? So that we can achieve. Kernels are generally multi-threaded, right? So kernel we have seen that. So there is a operating system part, so there is a user space and kernel space. So kernel is very close to what? Hardware. Is it close to hardware now? So user is a user side. So kernel it is always in the help of the multi-threaded. Many threads are involved in a kernel in order to provide a service for the user in most of the OS, even today modern OS also, right? So multi-threaded server architecture we will see in let example. So single thread web server process, as I told, single thread there is a web browser server will be there. So it unable to provide a service for multiple of clients request, web pages, images, sounds, right? Somebody want to see the image, somebody want to listen a songs, somebody want to see some cartoons, right? So they have thousands of requests from the clients will be there. So is it so possible with help of the single process or single thread, with help of the in order to cater the needs of everybody, thousands of clusters clients are requesting at a same time. Consider this scenario, server and client. So server is a one process and client will be one process. So if one clients will be there, no problem. If 1,000 such clients are there, and 1,000 process will be there. So it will be very difficult to answer for the server. So that's why how we can solve this problem. So you can see there is a client request will be there and it will go to the server, right? So like that many clients will be there to the server, many clients, thousands of clients will be send a request to the server, right? So then solution, server run as a single process, that is a single process. So accept request. To do so, server creates a separate process to serve each request. So server has to create a separate child process to serve this request, right? So process creation is a time consuming and also resource intensive. It uses a stack memory, a data memory, and various other kind of memory will be that is a resource intensive. Register also use that process control block we need to be create, right? That's why that is a time and resource intensive. This overhead will be we have to borrow that. So why we should borrow all those? So that's why concept called multi-threaded web server. So multi-threaded web server, it listens the request of all the clients via creating a new thread, right? It creates a thread for all the clients rather creating a process, right? So rather creating a process, it creates the thread. So one process contain a multi-thread. One process contain a multi-thread. So earlier, so for one client, one process. So that one process can create a child. So that is a that child will be under the guidance of the process. So that was a situation. So now instead of creating that one more process, so instead of creating process, you can create thread. No, one process will look after many threads. So thread is a lightweight, right? So resume the listen to additional clients request, then burden will be there. So to creates the new thread to service the request will be there, and thread will be look after for the each client, right? Server creates a separate thread to each service request and resume for additional request. So what is the meaning? That is, if the single process and client will be there, if multiple clients have been requesting for several their queries, that is very difficult to answer them, for which it was doing to create a process. So we thought that process is a lengthy process, it is a time consuming and resource intensive. So that's why we went for the concept called thread, that multi-thread. If the multi-thread web server concept, so it will have a request the client will be creates the thread for each process, right? Each process. So one process contain the multi-thread. So server creates a separate thread to each service request, resume for additional request. So it means in the previous case what will happen, if one request is there, it has to wait long time to attend the next request, right? So here not so, that as many as requests are there, no number of threads we can create. So it is a P is there to welcoming for the next request. But here there is a burden. There is no time at all to request for the next request. There is no time at all to listen the next request, subsequent request. So here any number of requests let come. So those are able to attend by this multi-threaded web server. So that is a concept here, right? So coming to the here. So let me see the browser, right? So browser screenshot will be here. So there is some website we need to be typed. So as soon as you type that is, so that pages will come, right? So that pages will come. So browser will be start processing of by releasing the producing the threads, right? As soon as the pages will be there, so that one thread will be look after. So that will be please render this page. So browser will tell please bring this page. So that page will come. So new render process. So that thread will look after to bring that page. And next we want to update the some pages. Old pages we want to remove. So old render process will be remove that. So that is unloading. That is unloading that pages because the cache memory become full. That is. So here from the one website browser bring the pages. So you can click one more other page. So it may go to the next some other website, right? Some other website. So that this thread will look after to that create the opening of that browser. So that page and bring that page and requested by the customer. If go on doing so, then several pages are there. Some of the unwanted or old pages we want to remove, right? So that is unload the pages. So that is a concept here of multi-threaded server architecture. So compared to the single server architecture, that is a single process architecture. So single server. So I hope you clear. So let we see one more. So there is a request from the request one, so it go to multi-threaded server, so it go to this here and it go to the IO. There is a database. So one more person is there. He's a three threads are there. So one thread is a what is called waiting thread. The red one is waiting thread. So green one is a thread being processed, and all other are other the inactive threads, right? So inactive, three threads are there. One is a waiting and other two is a processing, and all other will be waiting, that is a blocked, that is inactive. It maybe it completed its job, so go to database, so request will be there. So second person will be there. See where one is waiting and other one is doing, so it is go to the same database. So one more person will be there, is running, is thread and go there. So this kind of concepts will be possible in a multi-threaded OR. So it may be also possible in a dual core system. Desktop might contains the dual core, two cores, that may be here one core and two core here. So this chip you can visualize, and this chip you can visualize. So that we can observe here. So what is that core? So we can see that core, that is this core. We have one thread belongs to the it going for the web, and other thread will listening a music, and third thread will be looking after some database, and fourth thread will be looking after running the antivirus software, right? So two chips are there in this CPU. So one processor, it can run logically two threads. One processor can logically run two threads. So again depends upon the hardware specification. You can observe in the window the command prompt. So there you can type how many processors are there, and how many process, if one process, how many threads will be there. So here one process, two logical threads will be there. So here second chip will also two threads will be there. This is thread we can see, and antivirus the second thread. So totally four thread out of the two processors. So that is also multi-thread server architecture. So coming to this the benefit of this, what are the benefits of thread responsiveness? You can see that how quick you can get the web pages, how quick you can browse the information. Because single server and one process were there, it was a very lengthy time. So it always user want to wait to get the information. Here a quick response will be execution of the if part of the process is blocked, especially important for the user interface. Then resource sharing. So resource sharing, that is a process have heavy luggage, that thread have light luggage. So threads will be share the parent process the resource process easier than shared memory and message passing interface, which we have discussed enough about this interprocess communication. So that is operating system have process 1, 3 processor, this have only one thread, and this have two threads, right? This have three threads. Like that, multi-thread can be create possible. Economy is also due to this resource sharing, no? We are economy cheaper than the process creation. So thread switching lower overhead. So where the process, if you have a child process and many processes are there, process switching is a very difficult there. A heavy languages have to shift, and that CPU kernel has to be involved here, right? So here that burden is reduced, overhead also reduced, that is a context switching. So scalability, of course, that process can take advantage of the multiprocessor architecture, right? So here the thread due to the thread we can have the more number of tasks we can add here. So there also it equivalent to the number of processor. So processor we have logical process, maybe threads can possible to increase this scalability. So let we see what is a thread concept, right? So thread concept we seen so far multi-thread. So let we brush up this thread, right? It is a basic unit. Operating system allocates the processor time and more than one thread executing a code inside the process. So thread have ID, program counter, stack register, setup registers, also named as a lightweight protocol, lightweight process. So lightweight process due to the use of less resource, right? So it can easily create and destroy. It is not so in process creation and destruction. Say it share the process resource. The threads are scheduled on a processor. Each thread executes instruction independent from the other thread. So threads are independent. So they can run easily independently. So every program has at least one thread. Program without thread multi-threading executes sequentially. So you can click on the icon, so you will go to process. So that is a no thread can exist outside the process. So each thread have separate flow of control. So that is a operating system will have separate thread for each process. That thread will perform activities on behalf of the process. So RPC as we seen that server are multi-threaded, that is RPC is a remote processor call. So receiving a message from separate thread, so their RPC communication will be there. We will discuss in detail. So example, free memory managed in a by kernel. So there is a unused memory left, so that thread will go there and inspect that what are the unused memory blocks in between there. Then we can combine them and give it to some other process. So that kernel thread in a Linux and Solaris interrupts by handling by a kernel thread. So kernel thread will be handle the interrupt mechanism. So whereas the Linux thread will handle the memory management. So advantages are there of this thread. So less time for context switching. So process context switching is very luggaging, yet it is a huge time. So it is efficient communication, provide a concurrency within a process, more economic to create a and context switching threads. So we can see the thread cycle. So how that thread cycle will be: thread created, that is a newborn create, as we seen in the process state diagram. So here thread state diagram. So we have as soon as a bar it start executing, that become a runnable thread. So when we are running that, it go to the running state, right? Runnable to running. What is a runnable? It has to acquire all resource before going to running state. So when as soon as born that this chunk of load to execute that, it is decided by the process. So process, we have seen that example of client response to from the server it respond to the client, as we seen that the spell check in a word processor, right? So those are the threads. So if word processor is a process and spell checking or synonym looking, that is a threads, that is. So the one thread created for the spell checking, so it has to go to the that runnable code. So what is a runnable code? What are all the ingredients is required to for example spell checking? So it has to be spell check dictionary has to be get download. So it have that is, so that it has to be compare that word and compare and show the wrong one. So after running, that is, so running is a identifying that spelling, right? So for example I am saying, so that after spell checking it is correct and it is served for that client, and it has to be stopped, that it has to be stopped, that means it has to be terminated. So that thread will be destroyed, that thread will be killed, right? So thread created, it is a newborn thread and it becomes runnable after acquiring all resource, and it has to go for the work. When doing the work, that running, and after as soon as the completion of the work, it is a stop complete, that is, and it will be complete, it is coming out and thread will be destroyed. So no evidence will be remain there, or no memory will be occupied by the most of that this one. So in other case, if not run successfully, so then yield time expired. There is a certain time is given there here. So some seconds of that. So then after even after some certain allotted time, it may not completed running. Then it has to be stop in between and go again. We have to go for, or we can give it a chance to somebody who was running a short jobs. So this is a seems to be long job, so it has to be go back to runnable queue and stand in the queue again, get a slot and come back here. So like that, after executing several slots, you may completed the jobs and it will be coming out. So that is one aspect. So in also sometimes there is sleep mode, or the timer will be there. There is some of the resource not acquired to run that, so suspend will be there. So in that case it is sent to the blocked case. So block will be there after occupying that relevant information. It has to be declared and stop it, right? So then also if it is a blocked, if it still it has to be executed, remaining part is there, then you have to go to the runnable queue and stand there and come back. That is, so like this is a life cycle of the thread process, right? So let we see that what is the difference between the thread and process. So we have seen about more about threads so process so far. So let we go deeper about the thread. So it is a lightweight process, right? It is a heavyweight process. So thread is a lightweight. So no need of voice involves for thread switching. Thread switching is not required, whereas a voice has to be involved for process switching. So and one thread can read, write and clean another thread stacks, right? So thread can involve some other thread information, they can read, write or can destroy that. So process is independent from other process, right? It is not doing so. All thread can share the same set of open files, child process it had to be, right? So thread, so already some process has open file, so those files we can use by the many threads. So each process execute the same code but has own memory and file structure, so they cannot share the file, or they cannot disturb, that is other information. So one thread blocked and wait, then second thread can run same task, right? So if one thread blocked and wait, then after second thread can run the same task. So after waiting certain time, so that second thread can take over that incomplete task, that is. So if one server process is blocked and other cannot take over until first one is unblocked, right? So the first one has to be clear, then only second one can take over, whereas in the thread case it will be not so, right? So that is the difference between thread and process. And also we see the thread process cycle. So obviously that the thread have less resource using, that process we have more resource. So we can see the multi-core programming. So multi-core, we have seen that what is that, what we have seen that, so that desktop system we have seen, multi-program server, multi-thread web server we have seen. So there similar structure will be here. So there is a multi-core there. So there is a cache, several cores are there. So this physical hardware, so there is IO device, main memory, IO control will be connected. So for which you can see application software layer, so infrastructure layer will be there. So let is a one core, that is a Windows of API, several APIs running. So one core, that is, and second core is Linux, right? So that is also running several APIs, and the third core will be DSP, digital signal processing, which look after some of the matrix operation or video processing, so on that. So real-time operating system will be there. So that API, PP application programming 12 will be there. So another TOS will be fast core. So this is a multi-core, several core. We can see 4 cores we are observed, that is. So similarly we have seen in the previous slide that desktop system contains the 2 cores. So challenges, what are the challenges of multi-core programming? So putting pressure on the programmer. So there are multi-cores are there. So the programmer has to utilize the maximum possible extent, so that the pressure is there for the programmer. So dividing activity, the program or problem has to divide into partition, right? So the you can divide them and distribute the among all the cores. So load balancing, the proper distribution of the load among the several cores is important. balance that. One processor may get less load and other will be more, so it is imbalance. It may not yield a good performance. So data splitting, so we can split properly that data. The huge data is there. So for example, we have a 10-minute video, 1 minute might consist of 28 frames, 28 frames, one frame may be the row wise and column wise will be there, and so those we can divide into several processors which are available. So data splitting is again challenging for the programmer. Dependency will be there. So if we split the job into 5 parts, 4 parts, and you give it to the 4 processor, so the third processor has to get all the computation has to be completed by processor 1 and 2, right? So then only it can resume. So data dependency will be there. So testing and debugging is required. So parallelism implies a system can perform more than one task simultaneously. Obviously, more processors are there, so you need to create an environment that is a parallel environment for the user. So concurrency support more than the one task making progress. So we have single processor or core scheduler providing concurrency. So the parallelism type we can have, that is a discuss so far. Data parallelism, distribute the data among all the process that is across multiple cores, same operation on each. There is a program, the program copy, particular program copy is there on all the cores. Only data we need to be split, and data we need to be split and distribute equally to all processors. So the processor will run those code over those only the supplied data. So all this data will be the master processor will collectively collect the result from all the processors, all the cores, and combine the results and make it a real sense and produce to the real world. Same operation on each. Task parallelism, distributing the threads across the cores, so each thread performing unique operations, right? Unique operations. So as the number of threads grows, so does architecture supports for threading, right? So here as number of threads goes, so that it supports for the thread architecture, that is threading, that is right. So CPU have cores as well as the hardware threads, are there. So for example, Oracle Spark T4 with 8 cores, right? Oracle Spark T4 hardware, it is a 8 cores and 8 hardware threads per core, right? For one core we can have 8 threads, so that is a one core and 8 logical threads, right? 8 hardware threads per core will be there. So 8 8 64 threads may be possible. So 64 threads are logical threads. So 8 are a physical process, right? Physical cores are there. So each can have 8 threads. So that depends upon the hardware, that is. So let we see concurrency versus parallelism. How concurrent in a single system? You can see that single core, it can execute the task 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So it can execute the remaining task T1, T4, T3 for the second slot, right? So T1 may not complete first slot, it may go for several slots. So after that it can complete the execution. So what will happen? 4 tasks are there. So first slot will be over and call the next slot, then again over, and like this several slots will be required as the time goes, right? So if a single core or single processor will be there. So if multi core system is there, then it will be fruitful, that is. So 2 cores are there. So core 1 will execute T1, T2, and core 1 will be execute 3, 2 will be 4, and core 1 will be 1 and 2 will be 2. Second round, core 1 will be 3 and 4 will be 2 will be 4. Second round, so T1 will be, that is a core 1, that is a third round, right? So like that several threads will be, rounds will become, then after that completed. So let we see thread, how it looks, single thread and multi-thread, right? So what is a single thread? Single thread contains the code data, code information, data information, files is there, registers will be there, stack will be there, program counter will be there, right? So those are all information will be there related to that. So what is a thread? So thread will be there here, right? This is a indicates, that is this blue indicates that those 5 data will be there. So how you can see the multi-thread? So multi-thread will be there. So it have same code data files will be shared. Same code data files will be shared by several threads. So here example of 3 threads. So that is a first thread, register and stack, memory and thread will be there, right? So that is a second thread and stack will be there. Similarly, last thread, stack will be there. So this is a multi-thread. So it is a single process, 3 threads are there. So it's a one process, one thread will be there, right? So how you can say it is a one process, because code data files are there, no? Only one code data files are there, so it belongs to one process, right? So these are all shared by all 3 threads. So that is called a concept called multi-threaded process, right? So you can see the process. We have thread 1. It time start now when the process begin, process originate. So then it have a provision to create threads. So threads created, thread 1 created, so it finished some job, and thread 2 created, it finished some job it till this time, and afterwards thread 1 take over. So like this time slot will be there, right? So that process have several threads, so they can in a sequence they can execute. So Amdahl's law say that is identifies the performance gains from adding additional cores to an application. So performance adding a additional cores to application that has both a serial and parallel components. What Amdahl said is basically architects, computer architects. So he was telling about if you bring a very fastest machine, then the problem going to be solved by that machine is important. So what are the problem you were taken to solve by that machine? So the problem inherently consists of heterogeneous instruction, different type of instruction. What are the different type of instruction? Maybe IO instruction, maybe CPU instruction, maybe memory instruction, maybe string based instruction. So this kind of heterogeneous instructions are contains in your program. Then you are going to be run with a very fastest machine. So that too you are going to be solve problem with help of the different instruction, and also some of the part of the problem is never possible to solve in a parallel fashion. There is definitely certain amount of work will be exist in all the problems need to be solved in the sequential way, right? I hope you will consider any problem you consider, you cannot solve the problem completely parallelly, because the data sharing will be there, there is a dependency will be there, right? So those are due to that problem, certain amount of problem space, problem domain, problem area is need to be supposed to be solved by sequential way, right? Sequential way means only one process has to be executed. So remaining all threads, all process has to wait for that operation has to become. So that's why keeping in that is mind, Amdahl saying that is strength of the strongest chain depends upon the weakest link, right? I will repeat once again. Strength of the strongest chain depends on the weakest link. So I am so old, I cannot run with you. I cannot run as fast to you, right? Even if I taken some boost, even if I have taken some the nutrients, I cannot run faster than you. So that is the philosophy is keeping Amdahl is saying. What he is saying, whatever the fastest machine you have, but problems are certain amount of the computation definitely has to be run in sequential fashion. All the problems you cannot solve parallel fashion, right? So that is in keeping in mind. He is going to be saying that is, so S is a serial portion, N is a number of processor. The speed up performance of the computer, we can say speed up is less than or equal to 1 over S plus 1 minus A divided by N. What is a S? S is a serial portion of the program, serial portion of the problem we can execute. What is a N? Number of cores, number of processor is there available in hardware, right? So that is if application is 75% of parallel, 25% of serial, moving 1 to 2 core results in a speed of 1.6 times. So you can double that computation facility. So you cannot achieve the doubling of the speed up. So that at the most speed up will be 1.6, because the 25% of the serial instructions are in your problem. That's why that Amdal say that whatever the first machine you bring, it depends upon the performance depends upon the problem type. Problem should be contains fully parallelable, parallelizable problems, right? So as n approaches infinity, speed of approach is 1 by s, right? So serial portion of the application has a disappropriate effect. Serial portion is a very dangerous effect. What I said, the strength of the strongest chain. So it depends upon the weakest link. Here the weakest link is a disappropriate effect, that is from the serial portion of the application. So but does not log take into account contemporary multi-core systems. So even people are moving to that. So they might be considering, sometimes they are not considering. So even they are enjoying the thread concept. Anyhow, user thread and kernel thread will be there. There are two type of threads we are going to be observed. One called user thread and other called kernel thread. So this user thread managed by the user, that is in the programming, while writing a program, the compilers given some facility. So using that facility you can produce the thread. So there is the three primary thread libraries are there in most of the programming language. So that is a POSIX pthread. It is a IEEE standard thread. Most of the Unix system they are going to be used. So Windows thread by Microsoft, and Java thread from JVM, Java Virtual Machine. So these are the three major type of threads going to be practiced in most of the programming operating system. Out of which that kernel thread will be there, which is supported by the OS. So that is virtually all general purpose OS are including the Windows, Solaris, Linux, that is a Unix, Macintosh OS, and all those they supports for kernel thread, right? Whereas some other will be supports for user thread. So let me see the difference between the kernel thread and user thread. So what is a kernel thread? Kernel thread is a slower to create and manage. It is created by the OS, no? It creates slow creation, and when managing is also this is slower. The user thread will be faster, so creation is also faster. So this kernel thread will be directly supported by the for kernel thread OS will be support, whereas the implemented by thread library by user, right? User means thread library means that programming language compilers they provided some threads, right? So that you might be pthread dot include hash pthread dot, and some of threads will be there from that preprocessor. No, we can include while writing the program. So the kernel thread, these are the specific to OS. So these are the particular OS will be there. So only the thread will be there. Whereas it can run on any OS, any OS. For example, JVM, no, that Java Virtual Machine. So that Java compiler will produce the bytecode. So that bytecode can run in anywhere. So like for example, you can have your Samsung phone, or you can have a Motorola phone, or you can have Apple phone, no? So that icons are there. So those are executable files. So those are executable files and created by some other machine. So now it is running on your mobile also. So that is a user thread, right? So you can thread. So kernel level support and not known to user thread. So this kernel threads are kernel level thread, and it not aware about the user thread. So user level supports for the user threads. So kernel routine themselves can be multi-threaded. So inside the kernel is a multi-threaded. Multi-threaded application cannot take advantage of the multiprocessing, right? This multiprocessing we cannot achieve by the multi-thread. Let we see in some of the concept. So for example, kernel thread will be Windows 90, 98, NT, Solaris, and Unix, right? Whereas the user thread will be POSIX, that is a P thread. So Macintosh, that is a C thread, right? So Macintosh, C thread are the user thread, that is. So allow one-to-one threading mapping. Here kernel thread will be allow one-to-one mapping. So allow many-to-one mapping. So what is this mapping? We have to establish the relation between the kernel thread and user thread, because user thread at the user side and kernel thread at the kernel side. So kernel will be receive the information from the user, so that can be sent through via mapping. So user create have some threads and kernel will be create. So these thread has to be speak, had to be established communication. So that communication kind will be happening one to one or many to one relation, right? So user will be allow many to one, whereas the kernel will be allow one to one. So here let me see how this kernel thread will be look after. So this is a kernel space. So that ligaze of the kernel thread will be process table and thread table will be there. So that will be there, and at the user side only threads will be there. So user side will be, that is a user space, and this is a kernel space. So you can see that this is a round oval shape is a process, and this string like a spiral look like a thread, right? So this is a process and this is a thread. So we have a kernel space. In the kernel space thread ligases are there, that is a process table and thread table. So both the ligase will be there in the kernel area in the kernel thread, whereas in the user thread we have kernel space. So there is a process table only is there, so thread table is not here, right? So because this is a user thread, no user ligase is not there in the kernel. So that luggage will be there in the user area only. So that is this is a thread table. So this is thread table and this is a process table. So both the process table and thread table will be there in the kernel area, the kernel thread. So the thread table is there in the thread user thread, and kernel process table there in the kernel. So that is the difference between the kernel thread and user thread. I hope you crystal clear. I hope you follow this. So let me continue the next, that is how to establish a relation between this multi-thread, right? So what is the relation between the thread between this? We can achieve the thread relation between the this user thread and kernel thread via many to one relation, one to one relation, many to many relation, right? So in order to establish the relation between, because the user thread at the user level, the kernel thread at the kernel, so they have to be speak, they have to speak in what way they have to speak, what is the relation with there. So that relationship that called as a mapping. So this mapping is a model multi-thread modeling, many to one, one to one, many to many. Let me see one by one how it is, that is achieve one to many to one. Many user level threads map to single kernel thread, right? Many multi thread to a single kernel thread. So at the kernel space one thread will be there. So at the user space many will be there. So this many can talk with a one kernel thread, right? That is a many to one. So one thread blocking causes all to block. So if three threads are there in a user level, so if one thread blocked for IO or some interrupts will be happening, then it will be all remaining blocks will be all remaining user thread will be blocked. So entire communication will be stopped, that is, right? So multiple thread may not run in a parallel on a multi-core system, because only one may be in a kernel at a time. See here, kernel have one thread, so user have many thread, right? So one kernel thread cannot talk with a many at a given time. So that sequential will be required. So parallel may not possible here. So multiprocessor cannot be achieved with help of this many to one concept of relation between user thread and user thread and kernel thread. So that is a concept they want to highlight here. So I hope you'll repeat. I hope you'll understand. We'll repeat once again. So if a multi-thread at the user level and one thread at the kernel level, if we want to perform some task, all the threads of the user has to be speak only to kernel, only one kernel. If one kernel, that will be in the sequence, it is not in the parallel fashion. Concurrency is not possible. So that is a thing we want to highlight here. So few similar systems currently use this model. So multi-thread at the user level, one thread at the kernel level. So there are certain applications you want to maintain some what is called the shared memory variable and kind of things. The banking example. So banking example, there we have a balance is a shared memory, shared variable. So that customer want to draw the money in different places, but he cannot draw concurrently. He will draw in the sequence. So in that case, what will happen? Multi-thread at the multi-thread. So different ATM at the different geographical place. So the shared balance variable is a kernel thread. So anywhere you can draw the money, that say the kernel thread will look after the shared variable. The data will be consistent, right? That is a kind of thing examples, Solaris green threads will be there, GNU portable threads will be there, that many to one model. So we have kernel thread and user, many threads are there. So all these threads want to speak with one kernel thread. If any one blocks due to some IO memory very contention, and all other will be stopped, and they cannot run in a fashion parallel, they can run in a sequence, right? You can run in a sequence. So one to one, that is each user level thread maps to one kernel thread. So that creating user thread creates a kernel thread along with. So that user thread created parallelly kernel thread is created by the kernel side. So more concurrency than many to one, it is better than many to one. So there we cannot achieve multi processing, right? So number of threads per process sometimes restricted to due to overhead. Because here if you want to create 10 user thread and corresponding 10 kernel thread has to be created. So kernel thread is very costlier, right? So number of thread per process sometimes restricted due to the overhead. So this huge luggage will be created, no? So that's why some minimal number of threads has to be created. So this can be performed either in a Windows, Linux, Sun, Solaris 9 later on versions. They will allow the one-to-one model of this user and kernel thread mechanism. So there is each thread will have corresponding kernel thread, so they can have this multiprocess kind of thing you can achieve, that is. So that because separate threads will be there, many to many model, it is a complex model, allow many user level thread to map to the many kernel threads, right? So there is a multiple user threads are there, and multiple kernel threads are there, So here we can assume that m number of kernel thread and n number of user threads. So m number of kernel threads, n number of user threads. So that kernel threads will be lesser and user threads will be more here. So allow the that user threads and kernel threads may be equal, that user thread may be more than the kernel thread. Allow OS to create a sufficient number of kernel threads, right? So Solaris prior versions 9 have adopted that many to many. So Windows with a thread fiber package will be there. So two level model, that is a separate model similar to the many to many, except that it allows the user threads to bound to kernel thread, right? So we have that is a many to many and also one to one combined will be there, many to many and one to one. So hybrid nature will be there. So that also some of the HP UX, True 64, Unix and Sun, Solaris 8 and earlier systems are exercise this kind of two level, that is a many to many modeling, that is. So we have, this is a pure user kernel, pure user kernel, that is a many to one, and we have, this is also that is a pure kernel level, like this will be the kernel, and we have combined one. So this is a combined one. So that is a second level model. So you can see the while designing this multi-threading programming, there is address will be required. So address space will be, so one thread process one address, one thread one address. So blue indicates the address, and this inner side indicates the thread, one address one thread, that is a MS-DOS, Microsoft Disk Operating System. So uniprocessor. So we have Unix system will be there. So one thread and one thread per process, many address space will be there. So one process, one thread, and many addresses will be there. So and we have also the many thread per process. So there is a one process and 4 threads will be there. So that Java and they will encourage such kind of applications. So many thread, many process, many thread per process. So we have process 1 3 threads, process 2 have 2 threads, process 1 have 1 thread. So that Macintosh and Windows NT Chorus, some of systems will be allowed, that is. So this we have seen that. So this we have multiple requests will be there. So thread libraries we can observe, that is. So thread libraries provides the program with a application program interface for creating and managing the threads. 2 primary ways of thread implementing. Library entirely is in user space, kernel level library supported by the OS, that is. So that library supports per user thread, kernel supports per kernel thread. So that is a p thread. You can see that. So what is a p thread? May be provided either user level or kernel level. This p threads are the user level or kernel level. So POSIX standard IEEE 1003.1c API for thread creation and synchronization will be standardized. Specification and not implementation. Specified behavior of the thread library, implementation of to development of the library. Common in Unix, Solaris, Linux, Macintosh, p threads will be using that. So let we see example how this p threads will be utilized. The problem they consider: calculate the sum of non-negative numbers in a separate threads will be there. So two threads will be there. One thread for main program and second thread will be for runner to compute the sum, and they have to submit the master. Two threads are there. With help of the two thread or two process will be performed. That is, let we see how it will happen. So this is we can include the in the processor, preprocessor pthread.h, stdio.h, simple C program. So we have main program. So we are passing arguments, that argument. So that pthread TID will be there, processor ID, pthread attributes will be there. So and argument C not equal to 2, that error, that we can convert into integer, that string into integer. Argument 1 that is less than 0, that is also error. So otherwise the child will be created, right? So child will be pthread attributes, create a thread, so this is a process, main is a process, main want to create a child, or sorry, main process want to create a thread, right? What is a main? Main is a process under which there is a thread will be created. So it is under the premises of the process, main process, right? So that is a main means, so main here, this is a process, this you want to one thread, one child, one thread here. So that thread will be create. So that ID you have to be passed, that runner wait for thread. So pthread join t null. So what is this pthread join? When the thread has created, it has to be assign a task. A thread has to be perform a task. After completion of the task, it has to be report back to the process, right? Process. Who is the process? Main is a process. So main has created thread, no? So thread has to be perform the work and you have to be come back with the result. So that will be pthread join TID, right? So join means it has to be come back, right? Then once come back to the master or main process, so main process will announce the result. So sum of the positive numbers is like this. Okay, I hope you followed. It is clear. So main is a process. Main process creates the thread. That is, a thread will perform summation of the positive integers, and want to produce the result, it has to be submitted to the who called him. That is a main process. Main process called. So pthread join. So after a certain amount of null amount of time, it will be come back and it will be. So master or main process is held responsible to announce the result to real world who wrote the program. I hope you understood this. So this is one. So here we have what runner we doing, what that child is doing, what that thread is doing. Thread is doing finding the sum of positive integers. So sum of positive integers will be performed. So that result will be bring here. It will be announced. Okay. So two threads are there. One that is a main process and other one is a child thread that is performing. So now we can consider this. So this is only one thread will be there, right? Only one thread, one process, one thread, right? It like is a old system, right? So now we want to rejuvenate with a multi-thread concept. No, so how we can do that? So let we see. So here, so 10 such threads are they are calling. 10 such threads are there. Pthread workers the threads number of threads are 10, right? Number of threads are per end to I is equal to 1 to number of threads I plus p thread joins, right? So this whatever the array we have, find the sum of positive integers, so that data will be distributed among the 10 threads. Each threads will be find the sum of those numbers, sum of those positive numbers, and it has to be submitted to the master, who that main process called. So after finding summing all those results, and you will be global results, global sum is a global variable, no? So global variable which is visible to all threads, right? Sum is a global variable which is visible to all threads, so they will modify that, so that will be announced, right? So here, so that is a 10 threads will be there, so 10 threads will be created, and wait till all 10 child report to the parent join, right? So this join will be there, join function, p thread join. You will wait for all the threads has to be complete the work, and it come back and come with the sum, and this sum will be summed up, and it will be, now we have to send to the parent who called, that is, right? Who he will go to the control here, and he will be announce the result. So that is an example of p threads which are having a concept of multi-thread programming. So little we can see Windows multi-thread in similar way. So that also it the same task will go to achieve with help of this what is called windows.h threads will be there, that is going to be create, and this is the wait for multiple object nt that we have can observe here. Here close thread will be there, close handles are there, so here thread handles will be there, wait for a single object, this is a one thread will be there, a single thread will be there, so it go to the handle and it find the sum of the numbers, and after coming back is to close, that is, right? So this is for only one thread, as we seen in the process thread or server client or master slave. So here this is a main process, and this is a one thread will be created, so where thread created here, so one main process and one thread will be there, right? So this we can replace that wait for single object, that we can replace with a wait for multiple objects. N is a number of threads, right? N is a number of threads we can replace, that is a t handler, true and infinity. Along with this, it is going to be run 10 times, and it will come up with all the results to the server, that is the master. So master will be close all the threads and will be display the results. So this is an example of the Windows multi-thread C program. I hope you will be follow this concept. So we have discussed more about thread and multi-thread as the recap, that summarization, motivation and benefit we have seen, multi-core programming and those challenges and type of the parallelism also seen, multi-thread models we have seen that 2 levels. So that is a 1 m to n, 1 to n, m to m, 1 to m to 1 we thought that is served for multiprocessor. It is quite difficult, whereas m to m is a little bit supports, and other model we have also seen. There is a threaded library, one called p thread, and Windows thread we have observed. So I hope it is followed, and this we done from the book called Abram Silbertscharz et al. That is a textbook, and many other reference books are there. And thank you for patient listening and shown an interest on multi-thread, multi-core programming, that models, thread libraries. Thank you one and all.